So, I mean, there is a long history of people with disabilities being treated in ways that are worse than we treat animals. There's plenty of criticism of the way that we treat animals in our society. It's probably a minority of people doing it, but I think their voices are louder than the voices. I mean, just think about how much opposition there is from vegetarians and vegans against factory farming. And yet I don't hear a lot of mention of this particular facility in broader circles, right? So, I mean, these are human beings. These are people. And some of them may have capacities that are lower than some animals. I suppose that's true. And if you only have capacity, the ability to do things as your way to evaluate someone's moral status, then I guess you're going to put some animals higher than some people. There are certainly some utilitarians that think that way, Peter Singer, for example. But I think that's a minority view. I think most people, when they hear about that sort of thinking, find it horrendous. And ultimately speaking, that even that isn't true of a lot of these people who are in this facility, I'm sure. And there's an easy temptation that when people have lower ability to communicate, we assume that they're less intelligent, and we assume that they're less capable of making decisions, and so on. But the other side of this is the research is pretty overwhelming, that in cases of certain kinds of neurological conditions, and autism is one of them, the kind of reinforcement of behavior by issuing negative consequences of punishing, doesn't work. And it's not just that it doesn't work, it's that it particularly works worse with autism than it does with most people. The ways the brain works with autism make that kind of punishment thoroughly ineffective. And this is something that we witnessed with our own son over the years.
Not only potentially just ineffective, but essentially enforcing the behavior you want to decrease.
Yeah, it reinforces the behavior. And I mean, in the case of our son, the intended reinforcement becomes part of the behavior. We're trying to reinforce good behavior, but we're reinforcing bad behavior. And then the behavior becomes the thing that we would try to see if it would work, would then become part of the behavior. He would say the things people say to him negatively.
Yep.
When he did the behavior, and
Yep.
then he would giggle.
Yep.
And as if he's trying to get that response. So I don't know, maybe the more severe stuff doesn't work that way. I really don't know. But there's plenty of research that the way the brain receives that input is different in cases of autism than it is in cases of most of our brains. And it doesn't have the same effect that it has. So, I mean, there's plenty of studies about negative effects and how they affect human behavior. And it's not that it has no effect. It's just that it doesn't usually there are better ways to do it. But with autism, there's almost no effect from the negative treatment compared with other people. So they're doing something that causes harm. It doesn't work to have the effect that they're trying to produce. It has the opposite effect. And the only way they get away with it is because the people they're doing it to don't have a voice to complain about it. And even the ones that can complain about it verbally in person they're in some facility where their voice can't be heard by anyone outside of it.